Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by texting 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets, 347-496-1022.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers? Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace. Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree at King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for mental stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
this August month. And like I said before, like in the early parts of the month, I said that August, because it's the 8th month, and right now this is the month of these, from July, August, September, October, and November. These are the months of sacrifice. Sacrifice and sacrifice doesn't mean always something negative, but sometimes you have to give bad health up. You have to sacrifice the poisons that you eat in your body. You have to sacrifice people that no longer serve your highest and wisest purpose. The number 8, as far as August is concerned, is the number of recognizing who are assets in your life and who are liabilities in your life. You have to assess who are assets in your life and who are liabilities in your life. And sometimes it could be your own family members. Sometimes it could be some of your old friends from back in the past that don't understand your journey. Some people don't and will never understand your journey in this day and time. And that's all right. Every one of us have a walk. Every one of us has a journey. Every one of us has a voyage. Every one of us have a great thing to do if we chose to do it. Please share this live. Please share this live. Please share this live if you can, if you want to. Please share this live with others. That's 11, 12, 13. Okay. When you add up the 8 plus the 25 plus the 2023, it adds up to 2056. And 2 plus 5 plus 6. 2 plus 5 plus 6 equals 13, which today is a number 4 universal day, or a 13 universal day, depending on how you add it up. In another aspect, it could be another way. But I'm looking at when you add the month on top of the day, on top of the year, the month on top of the day, on top of the year, which adds up to 2056, and 2 plus 0 plus 5 plus 6 equals 13. So universally, this is a power and dominant day, but it's also a day of protecting your mind, protecting your mentality, protecting your thought patterns. So the title of this brief talk is called the Ebullition. The ebullition of joy when the creative force is working on your behalf. The word ebullition is a word that means the bubbling up of something. So ebullition, the ebullition of joy when the creative force is working on your behalf, or when you know that the creative force is working on your behalf. I should change that. Yeah. When you know, when we know the creative force is working on our behalf. So I'm gonna put that up there instead. The ebullition of joy when we know the creative force is working on our behalf. Because the creative force has always been working on our behalf. From the time we came out of our mommy and our daddy. From the time our father injected that life force, that spermatozoa into our mother's womb, and then it germinated with the seed. That's the creative force behind it. So it's a joyful thing. It's a bubbling thing when you realize that the creative force is working on your behalf, not just in the physical realm, but in the spiritual realm, not just in the mathematical world, but also in the scientific world, not just in the realm of finance, but the realm of relationships. Because sometimes we lose people because the creative force is working for us. So get rid of that person. Sometimes that's it. Sometimes and so the ebullition of joy, when we know the creative force is working on your behalf, is good to recognize from early, and many of us don't recognize it. The word ebullition means the bubbling up. So I'm saying the ebullition of joy when we know the creative force is working on our behalf. And sometimes, in order for you to realize
and recognize that it is, you got to look at your mathematics. You got to look at your astrology. You got to look at the spiritual systems that you're doing, whether it's the Ifa, the Akan, whether it's the Kemetic system, whether it's Christianity on its most highest spiritual level, whether it's Islam on its most highest spiritual level, whether it's Hebrew or Judaism on its most highest and spiritual level, the ebullition of joy when we know that the creative force is working on our behalf is beneficial to the mind, but it's also beneficial to the soul. And when it's beneficial to the mind, then it's beneficial to your behind to recognize the ebullition of joy. Those who don't know what the ebullition means, it means the bubbling, something bubbling up. Even when you bubble a pot of water, that is going through an ebullition. You're bubbling the water by adding heat to it. So many of us don't realize how important it is to know our walk in life, and that every step you've taken is due to the creative force that resides within you, because none of us are plugged in every day. It's not like machines that they're plugged in. My television is plugged in. My fan is plugged in. My air conditioner is plugged in. We're not plugged in. So there is a intelligent force that keeps the law and order of flow in our bodies. In the universe, or the planets would be banging into each other if it didn't have this force. Our organs would be doing other things that might destroy us if we didn't have this order within what we call chaos. Because if you open up a body and you don't know what's going on in your body, if you're not a doctor or you're not astute to understanding the anatomy, then you would look at the body when it's open, when that cadaver is open up, you'll say, whoa, this looks confusing. I don't even know where the lung is from the liver, but there is an order in everybody's body. Everybody has an order, and there's a flow of nerves and blood and liquid moving through our bodies in its order. So that order prevents the heart from doing what the lungs do. That order prevents the liver from trying to do what the kidney does. That order prevents the intestinal tract from trying to do what the nerves do. Everything has an order. So you can get out of order all you want. That's free will. You want to be out of order. You want to act disrespectful and all that. You can be out of order all you want. But your body, that is the microcosmic universe, is proven to you that there's order in this realm, and there's order in the higher realms. So the ebullition of joy, when we know that the creative force is working on our behalf, you could just start with your body, that you realize there's a creative force working on the behalf of the benefit of your body, until you destroy it with bad food, bad eating habit, and bad thoughts. And don't let people take away your joy. Don't let people take away your ebullition of joy, that bubbling energy of joy. Every day that you get up, every day that you go to bed with intentions. Listen to comedy that will make you laugh. So you don't watch movies and stuff that's gonna put in monsters and all that stuff in your head, because the quote unquote subconscious mind take in everything. Let me say it again. The subconscious mind takes in everything. So sometimes you have to program your own mind to go to bed with an intention of pinpointing what you want done in the next day to come. Because the subconscious mind, which was coined by Carl Jung and, Sigmund Freud and all that, Dr. Africa used to say the subconscious mind is not like a subway. The mind is a mind. It's just the unconscious and the conscious. That's all it is. It's all the unconscious and the conscious. All of that is theory. But yes, there is an unconscious part of all of us that picks up on things and that doesn't miss a beat.
There's an unconscious mind that even when you're driving and your eyesight is picking up on everything, you may forget that you picked up on that thing, but your unconscious mind already pick it up. Your conscious mind might forget. So we call it subconscious and conscious. Cool. That's a word that's been coined over years that we call it subconscious and conscious. All these things that we're talking about is all words that has meanings. And if you learn to use these meanings appropriately for yourself, you can rise to your highest and wisest. What's up? Holistically hilarious. My girl just had a birthday. Happy belated birthday, girl. Happy belated birthday to my cousin and bodybuilder, Aaliyah. So I'm going to be interviewing my cousin soon and bodybuilder. She's a natural bodybuilder. And Sophia, what's up, Sophia Levy, one of my former co-hosts. Big up to Sophia Sensei in the building. But the ebullition, the word ebullition means the bubbling up of joy when you know. And I'm saying the ebullition of joy because ebullition means the bubbling up of something. So ebullition is a word that means the bubbling. So I said the ebullition of joy when we know the creative force or God or Allah or Jah is working on our behalf from an internal perspective. Because there is a microcosmic universe. There is a macrocosmic universe. There is aliens in your own backyard. There's bugs that you've never seen before, that if they was as big as you, they would probably eat you. I'm just saying. And these are just words again. They're just words. But the premise of this particular live is for you to go to bed in joy with the ebullition of joy, and to arise with the ebullition of joy. This morning, I rose up coming out of dreams that I keep on, your dreams and your recordings start deleting as you're waking up. But I know I had some great, joyful dreams. I know I had some great, joyful dreams this morning. And because the 8, the 25, and the 2023, today's universal number is the number 13, which adds up to a number 4, because when you add 8 plus 25 plus 2023, the old way of adding numerology, 8 plus 25 plus 2023 adds up to 2056, and 2 plus 0 plus 5 plus 6 equals 13. 13 is the number of power, dominance. It's the number of creative aspects and creativity. And then the number 3 deals with the expansive manifestation that you want to accomplish on a universal 13 day like this when you add the month, the day, and the year together, because that deals with the personal number or the personality of this particular day from a mathematical perspective. So this is a good day to mentally fortify who you are and what you want to propel yourself in the future and continue to spiral up. Don't spiral down into a mental despair and mental destruction, because there's duality in everything. There's a positive ego and there's a negative ego. There's a positive number 1 and there's a negative number 1. There's a positive number 13 and there's a negative number 13. There's a positive number 4 and there's a negative number 4. There's a positive number 31 and there's a negative number 31. There's duality in all. We need to just find the balance to learn to manage our weaknesses and strengthen our strength. Like a punch, you're trying to punch that negativity or put that negativity on bay. But because it does arise, the frequency and the vibration does arise. It does come up in the thought, that negative thought. Even if you're in an office building, you take a pen and you know it's not your pen, that's a form of the negative thought that comes up until you say, you know what, that's not mine. Let me put that right back down. Let me put that right there. I'm not doing this. Because everything is accounted for. Let me say it again. Every little dirty, nasty little thieving thing that you've ever done, either by knowing it or unknowing, is accounted for. Me too. Every little thing. Every little saying, every little despair, every little destructive saying, every little dislike, every little hate you've had for anybody and anything is accounted for and written in your soul.
Everything is accounted for. People not thinking. So when you say you hate your ex-husband or hate your ex-mate or hate your family members or hate that person or hate that thing, everything is accounted for. That's why I stopped hating white people. I understand them now. I stopped hating the quote unquote slavery theory and the quote unquote, because white folks were slaves too. I learned to love, but I love with respectable conditions. Because people like to say love has no condition. No, love has conditions. Because there's certain conditions you ain't going to allow to be in your life, especially if you're in a relationship. You're not going to allow, just because you love somebody, you're not going to allow them to disrespect you. There's a condition to that. You ain't going to allow them to spit on you. There's a condition that unless you into that kind of ish. You ain't gonna allow them to piss on you. There's a condition to love. People are like, oh, unconditional love. There's no such thing as unconditional love. Why? Because there has to be a certain law and a certain condition so you can be accepted of that person and that person be accepted of you. Because you might meet a person that's into some real super crazy stuff. They might want to defecate on you and they call that love, but you don't call that love. There's a condition. There is a condition. Because there are people doing that. They're defecating in the name of love. They're doing that and allowing it to happen. And when you allow it in your sphere of your existence, when you allow people to disrespect you, defecate you, and piss on you, whether it's verbally, whether it's physically, whether it's spiritually, now you have to set up a condition of how you love that person or how you want that person in your life. There's conditions and things in this realm. In this realm. So the point that I'm saying, the ebullition of joy, and if you're just getting on the word ebullition, and I want to I'm gonna start teaching new words nowadays. I'm gonna start putting new words in your dictionary now, in your mental dictionary from now on. Ebullition means the bubbling of. And because ebullition has a double L in it, I haven't broken down the complete numerology for it, but because it has a double L is master number 33. And 33 is the healing number. So that bubbling up of joy when you know that the creative force, no matter what you call him or her or it, when you know the creative force is working on your behalf, when things are going right, and even when things going wrong, it may be a lesson. And then you have to be able to turn that lesson into a blessing. I'm not new to this, family. I'm true to this. For real, for real. I'm not new to this. I'm true to this. For real, for real. So that deals, and I'm dealing from a mathematical, numerovational perspective. Because I realize that many of us, and I include myself because I am not, in the Quran, it used to say, in the Quran, it used to say, we are created perfect, but yet imperfect. That's a saying. That's in the quote. We all are created perfectly, but yet we have imperfections in this realm. The energy within us is perfect. How your body does its own recycling is a perfect mechanism unless you destroy it. It's perfect, but the imperfection comes from the will that we do things willfully to destroy ourselves, destroy our family, destroy our things. There's perfection, but yet imperfection. So the Quran is right. We're perfect, but yet imperfect. And it said it, I can't even remember the Arabic words. I used to be able to say the Arabia to it. I'm going to learn it myself, because the Arabic word would even put even more emphasis to understand why we need to learn tones of our own ancient language, going Arabic, which is not Arabs, going back to Hebrew, going back to Meduneter, learning about those words that had tones and vibration. English is the lowest vibration in this realm. Let me say that again. English is the lowest vibration in this realm. It's comprised of multitudes of true languages. But howsoever we can manipulate this, we, the original melanated people, the original energy of this planet, can manipulate words to make it beneficial to us. Because thoughts are things, and if you put the right thought out there, then the manifestation of good things can come towards you, no matter what, because we all resonate with English. And then there's people that speak Creole. There's people that speak Spanish. There's people that speak French. But those English speakers, those Creole speakers, those Spanish speakers, those Meduneta speakers, those Hebrew speakers, you can use the resonant energy of every one of them, because every one of the letters connected to every language has a mathematical vibration. Let me say that again. Every word, every quote unquote language or dialect, as long as it has letters connected to it, no matter if and no matter what language it is, has a mathematical vibration to it, that if you apply the mathematics, because the mathematics is universal. The mathematics is universal wherever we go on the planet. Woo, man, I'm getting a whole sauna up inside here. It's bringing out the beauty of, I love when I'm sweating, because it brings out the beauty and the healing of what I'm going through, and I'm releasing this energy towards the people that are tuning in. And please share this live. Please share it. There may be somebody out there that need to hear it. Please share it. Don't be afraid to share, because sharing is caring. Sharing is caring. Let me say that again. Sharing is caring. And I'm not saying anything that's false. I'm saying something from my perspective that might affect you on another perspective, and then you will be able to make it part of your perspective. Because my job as the numerovator is to help to numerovate you to be your best. That's all my job is. I stay in my lane. Am I a top-notch astrologer? No, I've studied the science. Am I a top-notch Ife practitioner? No, I've studied the science. Am I a top-notch Christian? No, I've studied the science. Am I a top-notch Muslim? No, I've studied it. Am I a top-notch Moor? No, I've studied that. Am I a top-notch Akan practitioner? No, I've studied it. And I've taken everything that I've studied, and I continue to learn. That's why I don't call myself no master anything. I'm a master student, because once I consider myself a master, that means there's nothing else I need to learn. No, I want to learn and continue to learn, because you ain't never going to learn everything in your whole in life. You're not going to learn everything. And I don't care how many schools and how many quote unquote Ivy Leagues you go to. You're not going to learn everything. You're not going to learn everything. Some of you can't even tell me how much hair is on your arms, or how many hairs on your leg, or how many hairs on your pubic area. So you won't know everything. You know, some people don't know how much hair is on their head. You won't know everything. But you can take what you learn to make yourself a better person, to earn your living, earn your life. You learn, you earn, and you return to yourself and your family. And if your family wants to accept it, cool. If they don't, let them kick rocks and keep it moving. Maybe they're not supposed to get this knowledge. Maybe not all my children ask me about numerology. A majority of them do. And I know they speak amongst each other. And I know, my oldest son, he might be dropping certain wisdoms to certain people in his family, his mother's side and all that. He knows the stuff, but he's not going to be me. And I can't be him. And I'm not forcing any of my children to be like me, but I do want them to be able to take the knowledge that I have, to implement it in a way they can use it to be their best self. And that's what a numerovator does. So numerovation will move on through history and throughout eons from now, because it's not just about doing the numerology, because numerology only means the study of numbers. So anytime you apply numbers anywhere, that's numerology. I don't care if you're looking at likes or analytics, if you're looking at your clock, if you're looking at your watch, if you're watching a computer, those are studies of numbers. When you apply numbers in any aspect, whether you're adding, subtracting, doing algebra, whether you're dividing, that's numerology, the study of numbers. But numerovation goes straight to the point. I am motivating you with your numbers. Using the numeral and using the vation and calling it numerovation helps to motivate you to be your best if you're willing to put in the plurk. People say, what the hell is plurk? My new people that's new on to me, what the hell is plurk? Put in the plurk. That's Plork. Putting the play and the work, because you have to play and work. In order for you to accomplish your greatest goal, you have to have balance. You can't just work. You'll work yourself to death. You got to plurk. Play, enjoy what you do, because if you enjoy what you do by plurking, not twerking, ladies, if you enjoy what you do by plurking, Plork, play, PL and ORK, work. If you enjoy what you do by plurking, having a joyous and jovial and happy attitude while you're doing it, you'll never work a mother flipping day in your life. Let me say that again. You'll never work a mother flipping day in your life because it's plurking and it's not hard ass work. Woo! Y'all can tell I love what I do, right? Y'all can tell. But anybody that know me from doing stage shows or singing and all that stuff back in the day, I enjoyed myself on the stages of New York. I've been on those who don't know me, I've been on every major stage in New York City. And probably throughout Jersey and certain places, but especially New York, my focus was on New York because I lived there. I was born there. My parents are from Jamaica via Cuba and Africa and all that kind of stuff. I have a whole bunch of, I don't have a bunch of mix-up, fix-up. I know exactly where my family's from and where they stem from. But I've been on all the major stages. By the time I retired from doing Caribbean stages, I wasn't on the Barclay, so I never got to get on the Barclay stage, but I've been on Madison Square Garden. I've been in Forest Hill stage. I've been on Randall's Island stage. I've been on Radio City Hall stage. I've been on all the major stages, Palladium stage, all of those stages. So I enjoy, and those that know me that might be on the live, they know I enjoy what I do. I may not have been the perfect relationship person, may not have been the perfect father, but I enjoy what I do. And I came here to do what I do, no matter what people feel about it. So I come with that ebullition of joy whenever I do numbers. And then sometime in my session, I'm very calm. So when I'm doing work for clients over the phone, I'm very calm. Or sometimes I could be very bubbly. But it's because I'm going with the flow and the vibration of the person. I'm going with the ebb and flow of that person. And it's just like martial arts. You got to go with the ebb and flow. You can't, if a hit is thrown, you got to be able to maneuver it and take it and then redirect and keep moving. You know what I'm saying? Redirect and keep moving. You don't have to tussle and dance with nobody. So on that note, family, I want to thank each and every one of y'all for tuning in, locking in. If you want to enjoy the things that I do, you can go to my YouTube channel. That's King Simon Presents Only Quality People on YouTube, and the Numerovation Nation. That's two of my YouTube channels. Or go to my Linktree where you'll find all my YouTube channels. Well, I got two YouTube channels. And I also do private consultation over a private YouTube page now. So anytime you do a session with me, from now on, you'll be able to broadcast that session. You won't see me, you won't see you. You'll just hear our voice, but you'll see commercials running. You'll see commercials running during the whole broadcast, during the whole consultation with me. It's only 30 minutes. Sometimes I go over depending on the question and the Q&A. But I started doing that from now on because the last recording apparatus that I was using, the recordings, people wasn't able to broadcast. Sometimes it deletes itself because I'm using Google app, and I'm not doing that anymore. So I'm using YouTube private page so y'all can get the recordings, and you could broadcast it on your phone. You could broadcast it on your TV. You could broadcast it on your computer. You can broadcast and listen to your own session with me. And I always prompt people to ask me questions, because questions from your soul stimulates me to give you the mathematical answer or guidance that you need for your life. Because it does. Math, numbers really do not lie. I'm telling you, numbers really do not lie. And it's not a theory anymore. It's a theorem. It's not a theory anymore. I've seen it work. I've seen it work even when Lloyd is doing it. He's worked with people like Ian Levanzan. He's worked with Oprah. He's worked with Katie Couric. He's worked on major stations for 20 years. You don't get on major stations for 20 years. If this thing is not just a theory, it's a theorem now. It's an actual fact that this thing works. But it takes people who's willing to plurk it, put in that play and that work. You got to be willing to plurk. And you got to plurk with joy. You got to plurk with laughter. You got to plurk with optimism. I don't care if you're a computer tech. You should love being a computer tech and go with it and go into it with joy. I don't care if you're a prostitute. You better go into it with joy. I don't care if you're a pimp. Go with it with joy. If that's what you're supposed to do in this round, then that's what you're supposed to do. There's no judgment here, because I've been in the club life. I've been in the nightlife. And then most of the pimps and prostitutes and hoes outside of the club become the best conscious people, becomes the best financial people, becomes the best business people. Sophia laughing, but it's true. They become the best at what they do if they learn to transmute what they used to do in the darkness and the shadow times of night and transmute it to the light of power of being a financier. Some of the best drug dealers are best businessmen today. Look at Jay-Z. Come on now. Point. Look at Jay-Z. Notorious B.I.G. All of them came from that drug era, because they knew how to manipulate money. They knew how to do that. Look at Buffy the Body. She got, from shaking her ass, she done turned it into a whole workout thing. She got a whole damn video thing going on how to build that booty. Patra used to whine and dance and now she's a personal trainer. I'm just saying, you could take what we perceive as a negative and turn it into a positive. But it wasn't negative to them. It wasn't negative to me when I was out there doing parties, strip shows and swing parties and all that. I was a swingers. I used to throw swingers event. I used to MC shows at the same time and do pajama parties and do pool parties and do foam parties and do all that. The only parties I never did is a gay party, because that's not my lane. I'm not a gay person. I'm not a homosexual. If that's what you do, that's you. You just need to learn how to flip it and make it benefit you in the most progressive way in your life. That's all you need to do. No judgment. No judgment. I just don't choose to promote that lifestyle. That's not my lifestyle. I love the punani bada. Shaba used to say, love punani bada, love punani bada, love punani bada, me a punani idiot. Me a punani idiot. Me love punani. I'm from that Jamaican breed, that old school Jamaican breed. Me and Shaba right there around the same age. He's a year older than me. I'm from that breed. Me love punani bada. And Shaba turned all his Panani business and his Panani music into something that's beneficial, to the point that he married a lawyer that handles his business. Many of y'all would think Shaba has a whole bunch of children. Shaba don't have that much children. He put all his children through school and college with his beautiful wife, Alaya. So stop playing. Stop playing. Stop playing with this, baby. And on one more point, the ebullition of joy when we know that the creative force is working on your behalf. You have to know it, not believe it. Belief can take hold to not believing. But when you know something, it says ye shall know the truth. It didn't say ye shall believe the truth. Ye shall know the truth, and the truth will make you free. So that's why I said the ebullition of joy when we know the creative force is working on our behalf, not believing. Don't believe. Know it. Because we're here. We're on this planet. We're here to serve, get the lessons and the blessings of this planet. So we know we're here. We know we came through a mama's womb. We know there's sperm that was also helping this whole transit. We know that you had a mother or a father. We know that there's some kind of masculine, feminine that's working together. We know this. So I don't believe it no more. I know. And I was in a Uber the other day, and the brother kept on saying, the brother's name was Ahmad, and he was born on the 3rd. He just said he was born on the 3rd, and I broke it down to him what the 3rd meant. And we was in a Lyft the other day driving. Good tall brother, man. He looked like a model that I knew from back in the day that used to be with Moshood. And he said, I believe numbers. I said, brother, I don't believe in numbers. I told him straight up. I said, brother, I don't believe in mother flipping numbers. I know it worked. Because if you're driving Lyft all day and you know how much money you make from that Lyft, you ain't going to believe in the number. You're going to see the numbers manifest in your bank account. So you know this is how much you're supposed to make because you drove this amount of time and you knew how much this is account because they send you a whole W-10 or 1099 or whatever. They send you a W-2 or something. They let you know what you're doing. So stop believing, family, and start knowing. Because we're in the age of Aquarius, and the mantra for Aquarius is, I know. Pisces was, I believe. The mantra for Aquarius is, I know. Pisces is, I believe. I don't believe no more. Pisces gone. Pisces done. No disrespect to the Pisceans out there. Pisces done. That we're tipping Aquarius, and it's I know deals with knowledge. That's the root word of knowledge. So we need to know in this day and time. Do I know I got 10 fingers, or do I know I have 4 fingers and 2 thumbs? I know. I know. You know what I'm saying? Let somebody cut it off. I know I have 2 eyes. I know I have 52 or 32 teeth, whatever it's supposed to be. I've got 32 teeth. I know I have 2 nostrils. I know I have 1 neck. I know I have two earlobes. I know I have 2 arms, 2 elbows. I know I have 2 legs. I know. So we ain't got to believe I have 2 legs. I ain't got to believe I have 2 eyes. I ain't got to believe that. We may have 3 eyes. I believe that. I know that too. We got a 3rd eye, but it's spiritual. I know that. Let thine eyes be 1 eye. That's what Jesus said in the Bible. Let thine eyes become 1. Talking about the spiritual 3rd eye, dealing with the pineal gland. So that's a whole esoteric science that you need to know. All right. On that note, family, thank y'all very much. Remember, tune in on my YouTube channel, King Simon Presents Only Quality People and the Numerovation Nation. Also, remember, I'm coming back to New York September 23rd. I will be hosting the great Ashra Kwesi and Mirira Kwesi, the legends in history and bringing ancient civilization and history back. September the 23rd at the Alkaline Oasis. That's a Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. Sophia, you need to come out. You need to be there. You need to be part of my team out there. I need people to watch my back. So you need to come on out there, Sophia. And I'd rather women to watch my back more times than men. And especially a trained martial artist like you. But September 23rd, before y'all's birthday, come on out. I will be in New York with Baba Ashra Kwesi and Mama Mirira Kwesi. Ashra Kwesi has not been in New York in 4 to 5 years. And this time he's teaching on ancient civilization. And he's going to debunk the so-called Cleopatra Netflix film that they were throwing out there to show you the timeline. And then they got a new Cleopatra film coming out. Big up to Katana. What's up, Katana? My sister's on the line. They got a new Cleopatra. The girl that played the sister, the white woman that played Wonder Woman is about to become Cleopatra, taking over from Elizabeth. They're going to keep this narrative going, this old Queen Elizabeth thing, not Queen Elizabeth, this old Elizabeth Taylor thing. They're going to keep this narrative going about Cleopatra without letting us know that there was a multitude of Cleopatras, not just one. Not when you get to the mix-up and the fix-up Cleopatra, you're forgetting the dark-skinned, beautiful, elongated head Cleopatra. How you gonna forget that? So Baba Ashra Kwesi is gonna debunk that. That won't be the gist of his whole lecture, but he's gonna be talking about ancient civilization and understanding nuances of it. And Merira Kwesi is gonna open up with the black goddesses of ancient civilization in New York City. Let me say that again. Merira Kwesi is opening up and talking about the black goddesses of ancient civilization. The ones that we have to acknowledge and show respect, because it's not about the man only and it's not about the woman only. It's about the balance. So get your tickets right now. The early bird tickets are going to be finished by September 1st. It's $30 for the early bird tickets. If you want to pay via PayPal or Cash App, go to my Linktree and text me if you want to, and go get my number and text me. But if you want to pay through Eventbrite, go to my Linktree right here in the description of my IG and be there. Be there. I'm only allowing a certain amount of vendors because not everybody can hold in that spot. It's a narrow spot, but it's a nice spot. It's a vegan, vegetarian spot built by Mr. G and Brother Marv on Halsey Street and Broadway in Brooklyn. So yeah, we're going to have a good time. We're going to have a good time. And remember, this coming Sunday, I'll be interviewing Dr. Karima Moore. I got Phil Valentine coming back. I got Ashra Kwesi I got to interview. Merira Kwesi. Merira Kwesi might not be on the interview because she's taking care of her father. But Baba Ashra Kwesi and Merira Kwesi will be in New York City for September the 23rd, which happens to be Ray Charles's birthday. So we're gonna sing some Ray Charles songs. We're gonna sing some Ray Charles songs. I'm gonna play some Ray Charles that day so we can get that energy of Ray Charles. We're gonna get that energy of Ray Charles. You know we're gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna make it do what it do. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna make it do what it do. We're gonna make it do what it do. And, you know, I'll probably wear my shades and any beautiful woman that come up to me, I'll probably check your wrist to see if you're beautiful. I'm going to check your wrist like Ray Charles and see if you're beautiful. Come here, baby. Let me check. Let me see how beautiful you are. Big up to Ray Charles, man. The late, great Ray Charles. September 23rd, Baba Ashra Kwesi in New York City, in Brooklyn, over there at the Alkaline Oasis at 958 Halsey Street near Broadway. You could take the J train, you could take the 26, you could take all types of buses and trains there. The A train to Broadway Junction, and then transfer to the J train going towards Manhattan. 2 stops, and we right there across the street from Dunkin' Donuts. Holistic spot right across the street from Dunkin' Donuts. We're trying to stop people from eating Dunkin' Donuts because you're getting your mind dunked into those donuts. So, all right, family, have a great day, afternoon, or evening. I love you, and you can't do nothing about it, all right? Because I love myself, and I definitely can't do nothing about that. Remember, the ebullition of joy when we know the creative force is working on our behalf. Ebullition means bubble up, the bubbling up. The ebullition of joy. And go to bed with the ebullition of joy before you go to bed. And so you could arise the next morning with the ebullition of joy. All right? Have a great day, afternoon, or evening. Peace and love.
Content disclaimer. The views, comments, and opinions expressed by guest speakers or authors on this YouTube channel do not necessarily reflect or represent the views and opinions held by this channel's broadcasters and its sponsors. Parental guidance is advised. Copyright disclaimer under Section 107 of Copyright Act of 1976. Allowance is made for fair use for purposes such as criticism, comments, news reporting, teachers, scholarship, education, and research. For fair use is a use permitted by copyright statute that might otherwise be infringed.
On Saturday, September 23rd from 2 to 8 p.m. at the Alkaline Oasis in Brooklyn, Baba Ashraf Kwesi and Mira Kwesi returns to Brooklyn, New York after 4 years. Get your early bird tickets right now by Texas 347-496-1022. Remember, they'll be teaching about the ancient history of Africa, Kemet, and also they're going to touch on Cleopatra. So get your tickets 347-496-1022.
Did you ever wonder if your birth date holds information about your destiny? Why you keep seeing the same number or several numbers?
Welcome to Numbers Are Simple, People Are Complicated. I am your host, King Simon. Numbers are not here to control you, they're here to give you guidance. It's time for you to be able to read the numbers. Hey family, it's King Simon, the founder of Numerovation. Remember, if you want to book a session with me and get a Numerovation consultation, all you have to do is text me your full name and date of birth to 347-496-1022. And if you want any of my books, go to Linktr.ee/King Simon the Numerovator. That's King Simon the Numerovator. And your books are available on Amazon. Remember, I'm the El Numero Uno, the Numerovator himself. And if you want to book a session, all you have to do is text me. Make sure you get my books on Amazon. I love you. Peace.
Hey, this is King Simon. Remember, make sure you go to my website, kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com or Linktree@King Simon the Numerovator. Get all 4 of my books, and of course, that's the Numerovation for Mental Stability. Numbers are simple, people are complicated. Numbers are simple, children's health is important, and no promotion is bad promotion. Just spell my name right. Make sure you get them now on all my links. That's kingsimonproductions.wordpress.com. Go now.
Some people think that this esoteric knowledge is for the rich and powerful, when in actuality, the so-called 85% has a spark in them that if it is sparked through numerology, astrology, motivation, whatever, it will raise them up from an 85%, maybe to a 10%, and eventually they become the 5%. Poor or prosperous righteous teachers. You gotta understand that this knowledge is not just for one class of people. We gotta get out of the class.